everyone, and welcome back to a very special episode of the Small Church Musicians Podcast. My name is Justin. I'm your host, and I'm a small church musician. I'm on a journey to find the best sounding equipment for my budget and to talk about the songs and artists that God has used to make me who I am. I have a really quick episode I wanted to put out because there's been some huge news for the world of music. Not just worship music, but all music, and it's something I felt deserved its own individual episode. Before I jump in, I just want to say, if you like the show at any point, or you like anything that I have to say, or you want to hear more from this show, hit the follow button on Spotify, follow us on Facebook, X, and Instagram. I'm posting new content all the time, and my goal is to get this show to 100 listeners by the end of June. If we do, I have a really special episode planned out that I'd love to make happen, but I can't do it without you all, and so I'm not going to beat around the bush. Let's go ahead and dive right in. The big news today is that this morning, Sam Ash Music Stores announced that they're going to be closing locations beginning today. This is massive news, and not just for those of us who lead worship, but for all musicians everywhere. This is one of the original musical retailers in the United States, and they've been around for over 100 years. Think about that. Over 100 years of doing business, and they're going to start going out of business as a company, and that's devastating. This is a company that I know I've personally built a great relationship with. I've only had good shopping experiences with them. The employees and the associates genuinely want to be there. They want to help you as a musician find the gear you need and help you solve your problems. And they partially inspired this podcast because I felt God's call to try to help people find the gear that they need and deal with the problems that they're facing in a small church musician-based setting. And to see them starting to go out of business genuinely breaks my heart. And they're just such a great company, and it's so upsetting to start seeing them close their doors. So what does this mean for us as worship leaders and musicians? It means that we have one less place to do business, which is one thing, but that's not vitally end of the world important because there are still other places you can go shop, but you might not necessarily get the same level of care and customer service that you might get from a Sam Ash at another musical retailer. I'm not going to go into all the details. It also, the bigger thing is that we're largely going to have to do a lot of our retail musical shopping online. And I know for me personally that it's kind of a weird situation when you want to buy a guitar without trying it first. As a rule of thumb, I genuinely like to have a guitar in my hand and get a feel for it before I make the purchase of whether or not I love it. That's how I wound up with my PRS McCarty, which I did not buy through Sam Ash. I bought it through a different retailer, but that's not the point. The point is, this is one less brick and mortar place we have to go to be able to purchase our gear, and that's really, really upsetting. I know for me, one of my favorite places I've ever gotten to visit was Sam Ash, New York City. That store is incredible, and if you're hearing this podcast and you have the opportunity to go there, go check it out before they close down because they are one of the best physical music stores that I have ever had the pleasure of visiting. I remember traveling back and forth between New Jersey and Massachusetts for college. In between my bus trips, I would stop off there and make it a priority to walk around and just see all the things that they had to offer. And they had so much, and they had so many great artists that would stop in and visit them, not just from the Christian world, but from the secular world. So many impactful bands and artists over the years have stopped in that store in New York City, and it became a destination, a visitation destination. And it's so sad to think about that is going to be going out of business. And it again, it really breaks my heart. I'm sorry I'm so all over the place with this, but this is a huge deal. And I know I'm personally going to make it a priority to make one more purchase through Sam Ash before they all go out of business and before they all close down, because I want to support this company that's, in a way, helped me become who I am, that God has used to help me become who I am. And they instilled a lot of the values of this podcast, as I've said. They've helped me ID solutions to problems that I'm facing in a smaller church-based setting. They helped me figure out the proper way to use a compression pedal. I'd never known how to use one until I talked with them for about 3 hours. And then they helped me understand how to use it properly and where it belongs at a pedal chain and the best way to use one. I didn't find the right model through them, but they pointed me in the right direction. They're the reason I have my Strymon timeline, which is probably the best delay pedal I ever used. I do have an upcoming episode where I'm going to talk about why it's so good, but that's not the point. They helped me get it, and they made it happen for a fantastic deal. Here's the thing. They also have amazing deals all the time on their website. They have coupon codes where you get like $50 off a $100 plus purchase. That's insane. That's great value, and most other retailers don't do that. And I think that's a devastating loss to us as people, and we don't have somebody we can build a good relationship with in that sense. And it's moving forward in the United States, things might be a little bit more difficult for us. That's not to say there aren't fantastic retailers all over the country. I'm going to be checking out Russo Music more and more here in New Jersey. They're an outstanding local music shop, and I'm happy to do business with them. But Sam Ash was like the first big chain that I ever really wanted to do business with, and I'm very sad to start seeing them go out of business. So what can we do moving forward to help stop this sort of thing, these brick and mortar music shops from closing down? The best thing you can do is to support your local music shop. Do business with them whenever possible. There are plenty of online big box retailers that'll sell you the musical gear you need, and there's a couple companies that really do an outstanding job, and they really try to make it feel like you're actually there, and you get to pick your own guitar out of the lineup, and it's great, but it's not the same as picking up the guitar, playing it in person, saying, I'm walking out with this one, and then you buy it there and then. And so you got to make it a priority to support your local music shop. A newer store just opened up for me a little over 2 years ago here in town, and I shop with them whenever possible. And they're my go-to place where I get all my guitar repairs done and all my setups done. And they're a fantastic place, and I want to see them grow. So I think it's important that we make it a priority as people to support our local music shops. And like I said, there's not really a whole lot that I can say about this other than how sad I am to see them go. And if you have the opportunity to make a purchase through Sam Ash, definitely make it a priority to buy something from them to show that you care about the business and that you're sad to see them go, because they've done such good work for so many people for over 100 years. And they're a family-owned business, and it grew from nothing to being what they are today, a fantastic musical retailer that you can go in and you can find the model you want, and you can try it out and buy it, and you can talk to the associates, and they want to be there. They want to talk to you about gear for as long as you want to talk with them, or as long as they're allowed to talk to you. Just give yourself the opportunity to visit one of these locations. They've still got stores all over the country. As I said, I'm going to try to make one more purchase through them before they go out of business, and that's on my heart. The Lord's put it on my heart this week, and yeah. That's where we're at. I'm sorry this episode's a little bit more frantic and a little bit more disorganized than it usually is, but I wanted to get this out there, and I wanted to talk about this. And if you feel led, I'd love it if you'd share this message with somebody on social media, if you'd share the show on social media. If you like the show at any point, go ahead and hit that follow button on Spotify, share it all over social media, as I said, and follow the show for more episodes like this. And I promise they're not nearly as frantic as this one is. But if you want to support Sam Ash, go out and buy something from them. Order something through their website if you have to. And also moving forward, support your local music shop. Support your local music shop, because that's the best possible way to show that you still want them to stay in business. And though times are changing, we need to show the world that we still want brick and mortar music shops in place. Though times have changed, we want to show the world that we still want brick and mortar music shops to be a thing and not just be digital only. With all that said, everybody, my name is Justin, and I'm a small church musician. I'm on a journey to find the best sounding equipment for my budget and to talk about the songs and artists that God has used to make me who I am. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll see you next time. Have a great week.